Hello and welcome to another episode of Linux and Code. Today we're doing a quick update to the core series and we're going to be adding HTTPS to our development environment. Let's get started. So adding HTTPS is actually really simple thanks to our Docker setup. So we're going to open up our Docker Compose file and we're essentially just going to add another service. So we're going to get ourselves a couple of blank lines, and then this is called HTTPS portal. Or at least that's what I'm going to call it. You can call it whatever you want. But the image is also called HTTPS portal, so that's why I've named it that. And what this does is configures an nginx reverse proxy for us. So we don't even have to mess with configuring any of this ourselves. We just plug this into our service and point it at our API, and we're done. And the reason we're giving it 443 and 8080 is because it'll automatically take care of redirecting to HTTPS from HTTP for us, which is why we need the 80. So now we need to just tell this it depends on our existing API, which in our case is called core API. And then we just need to tell it what environment we're running in. And we haven't gotten to overriding this configuration yet for production. In production, we would want to set a different domain and stage for this environment, but for development, this will be just fine. So here I'm specifying the domain that I want to use for HTTPS, which in my case I'm just doing off of a .local so that it's not taken up by anything else online. And then I'm pointing it to the local Docker service that it should redirect to. In our case, that's core API :3000, which is set up down below our core API service. So that's going to take all these requests and redirect them to the Docker service running underneath. And now we're going to set a stage for this environment, and we're just going to set it equal to local. And that is so it just self-signs the certificate instead of reaching out and trying to actually get a certificate authenticated for the domain. That way, you don't end up with trying to get DNS records to work under your local dev server, which wouldn't actually work. So now that we've done that, the next thing that we need to do is edit our host file on our own machine. So doing that's really simple. We're just going to open up our hosts file. On Linux, that's under etc/hosts. On Windows, it's a little bit more buried, but Docker has some issues on Windows anyway. So we're just going to edit etc/hosts, and then we need to add a new entry with our current loopback IP address, the 127.0.0.1. And then for the domain, we're wanting to redirect, so core.api.local. And we can save this, and we're essentially done. Now if you run Docker Compose up and build, this will come in here and you'll see a new service start for the HTTPS portal. And it'll go in and it'll generate a certificate for you. And if you come make a request now, and we'll do a generic one on, say, our local login. And we can change this to be HTTPS, and we can actually use our core.api.local to send this request. Hit send, and our response works, but it's over HTTPS now instead of HTTP. So that's it. This was just a quick update to get HTTPS included in our development setup, which we'll be using for some other projects that are coming down shortly. Hope you've enjoyed. Leave a comment on things you would like to see or things you'd like to see me change. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.